Welcome back to another explainer. So if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner looking to scale beyond your local borders, you already know the world of international trade can feel, well, incredibly intimidating. But honestly, it really doesn't have to be. Today, we're completely demystifying that process. We're unpacking the Mentor's Blueprint, Succeeding in Global Markets. Let's dive right in.
$34 trillion. Yeah, you heard that right. According to recent global trade stats, that is the projected value of world trade in goods and services by 2025. I mean, that is an almost unfathomably massive pie. And grabbing even a tiny, tiny fraction of a slice, that can absolutely transform your business trajectory. The opportunity is undeniably huge.
But we do have to face reality here, which brings us to a really critical question. Why do so many new exporters fail when they try to grab that slice? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. It's almost never because they have a bad product. Nope. Failures usually happen because of a lack of proper planning, inadequate compliance knowledge, or just completely misunderstanding their target market. So, long story short, it's not the product, it's the prep.
To fix that preparation gap, we're going to walk through a structured 4-step export blueprint. The agenda for today is simple. 1. Assess readiness. 2. Select markets. 3. Ensure compliance. And 4. Match with buyers. This is the exact framework derived directly from expert export consultancy practices.
So, step 1. Assess your export readiness.
Before you look outward, you've got to look inward, right? And this is actually the biggest trap new entrepreneurs fall into. The common assumption is just, hey, I have a good product, so I'm ready to export. But the harsh reality? True readiness goes so much deeper than that. You have to evaluate your production capacity, your financial stability, and your operational efficiency. Think about it like this. A food processing company might make literally the absolute best jam in their region. But if their packaging shatters during a bumpy transatlantic voyage, they simply aren't ready for the world stage.
Moving right along to step 2. Select markets using data.
Once you know your business is internally ready, picking a target market shouldn't just be based on a gut feeling. Market selection has to be highly analytical. Expert consultants, they don't just throw a dart at a map. They analyze specific, data-driven factors. They're looking at demand trends, complex tariff structures, hidden trade barriers, cultural expectations, and competitive dynamics. You really have to find the exact right geographical and economic fit for your specific product if you want to ensure long-term profitability. Let me give you a super specific example straight from our sources. Imagine you're a business exporting agro-processed spices. Instinctively, you might target European markets, right? Because they have high purchasing power? But proper data analysis might actually point you toward Middle Eastern markets instead. Why is that? Because the Middle East might offer a culturally driven higher demand for those exact spices, combined with way lower regulatory barriers. Basically, data saves you from spending years trying to break into the wrong market.
That brings us to step 3. Navigate strict international compliance.
Now, this is often the most intimidating part of the whole journey. It's your necessary shield against this crazy labyrinth of global regulations. The sheer, overwhelming volume of paperwork is just staggering. We're talking commercial invoices, packing lists, certificates of origin, bills of lading, inspection certificates, customs declarations, export permits, and honestly, the list goes on. And the kicker? Errors in any of these documents can lead to massive shipment delays, severe customs penalties, or even outright cargo rejection. You absolutely cannot afford to just guess your way through customs.
And what's really fascinating and honestly quite challenging is that modern compliance isn't just about filing paperwork correctly anymore. Today, international buyers demand strict adherence to ethical and environmental standards. They want to see actual proof of environmental sustainability, fair labor standards, traceability, and really rigorous packaging regulations. So if you're a leather goods manufacturer, European buyers are going to scrutinize your sustainable sourcing practices just as heavily as the actual quality of your leather.
All right, step 4. Master buyer-seller matchmaking.
Okay, so your business is ready, you've selected your market with data, and your compliance is totally flawless. Now what? Well, this is the handshake. A lot of exporters struggle simply because they don't know how to find genuine, reliable foreign buyers. Professional consultants bridge this gap using a very specific matchmaking funnel. Step 1 is identifying potential verified buyers using commercial databases. Step 2? Arranging targeted B2B meetings. Step 3 involves navigating and attending the right international trade fairs. And finally, step 4 is nurturing those exact contacts to build credible, long-term partnerships.
But remember, in today's hyper-connected global market, a physical handshake often comes last.
Successful matchmaking relies so heavily on establishing a highly visible digital presence, what we call the digital edge. Buyers are actively evaluating suppliers based on their online footprint. That means you need export-oriented websites, high-quality digital catalogs, active LinkedIn networking, and a super strong SEO and social media presence. Simply put, if a buyer searches for your product, you need to show up, and you need to look world-class.
So let's look at your global success blueprint.
Let's pull all of this together. These 4 steps are the essential planks that build your bridge to international trade success. 1. Readiness assessment. 2. Market research. 3. Compliance support. And 4. Buyer matchmaking. If any single one of these planks is missing or weak, well, the bridge to your new market simply will not hold.
Now, you might be wondering, where exactly did this comprehensive blueprint come from? It's actually derived directly from the practices of Trade and Investment Bangladesh, or TNIB. Founded by Md Joinal Abdin, TNIB is a professional trade facilitation and consultancy organization. They act as a trusted strategic partner specifically dedicated to guiding SMEs, startups, and entrepreneurs safely and profitably into these complex global markets.
And it's super important to note that this methodology isn't just some academic theory. It's validated by over 18 years of direct, hands-on experience. The founder, Md Joinal Abdin, has an incredibly extensive background in navigating global trade policy, fostering bilateral trade, like his role as Secretary General of the Brazil-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and driving actual, real-world business development for local exporters.
And you know, the results of applying that experience really speak for themselves. We're talking over 150 projects successfully delivered and over 145 happy clients globally. Highlighting this proven track record just goes to show that these aren't just ideas on paper. They are tested, highly reliable paths to success. From evaluating that initial business readiness all the way to managing advanced digital marketing and buyer matchmaking, the blueprint just works.
Which brings us to our final point, and honestly, the most provocative challenge for you to consider today. Is your business truly ready for the world? You might have an absolutely incredible, world-class product, but as we've explored in this explainer, the global market demands flawless compliance, precise data-driven strategy, and undeniable digital credibility. So take a hard look at your own enterprise against this blueprint. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this. I really hope this structured approach empowers you to evaluate your own readiness and safely build your bridge to global markets.